Is the A6400 the best autofocusing camera on the market today? Let's find out. What's up everyone, I'm the Everyday Dad, and if I can figure it out, you can figure it out. So Sony says the A6400 is the fastest focusing camera in the world. Let's put that's a bold claim. Let's put that to the test today. So what we're gonna do today is we're gonna do two major tests. We're gonna test 1080p and we're gonna test 4K. When you test 1080p, I can record to the monitor so you can see all the little doodads and you can see what the camera's actually doing. When we do it in 4K, we're gonna have to move this camera behind it because when you do 4K, much like the A7 III, it doesn't let you do HDMI info display, which, why? Who knows? Camera companies are weird and they do weird things with their things. So let's get started. And so we're gonna do the most important of tests. We're gonna do the sunglasses and the not sunglasses because eye autofocus is great and all, but it's bright outside and some of us have sensitive eyes. And by some of us, I mean me. So let's get started. Let's put you right here. Okay, A6400 autofocus test. You are not level. Let's get you to be kind of level. Record. Okay, here we go. Autofocus test of the Sony A6400 beginning. So we're currently at 50mm equivalent with the kit lens set to f5, just because that's how variable kit lenses work. It moves in and out. And as you can see, the box is around my face and it's got a lock on it. Like, I'm definitely in focus. And something that I noticed when we were using these Canon RP is that if you moved laterally a lot, it would lose you. So I'm trying to see if maybe does Sony have the same thing? It also is supposed to have autofocus points all to edge. So if you want to do something like stand off into the rule of thirds all the time, like, you know, one very popular YouTuber that I enjoy watching his content, this might be able to work out for you. Okay, focus somewhere else. And we're back. I wish we had like a faster lens so the difference would be more striking, but you can kind of tell there's a bit of a blurry background there. So let's wander back this way. You know, Canon is supposed to have the best autofocus in the market today, but Sony, you know, Sony with their most recent cameras has really been trying to take their lunch. Like, Sony has been coming hard with the autofocus system. They really released the eye autofocus that the stills guys are all in love with. I see lots of people talk about how great the stills autofocus is with how the stills eye autofocus is with like the A7 III, the A7R III, the A9. And it's like all of that stuff is now coming to APS-C with the A6400. I'm so, like, I gotta be honest, when I first heard about the A6400, I wasn't very I was kind of meh about it. I was like, okay, great. I like the A6300. I hate the A6500, but it's like, I kind of am like past the Sony APS-C cameras because Sony does not have any great native lenses for it. Sigma has some awesome ones. Sony doesn't as much. But the more I use this thing, the more I really like it. The autofocus is great. I mean, as you can see right now, okay, so we did sunglasses. Does it work any better with not the sunglasses? Because look, it's easy to track a face when it's just the face, but hat and sunglasses make it a lot harder. And I mean, to be frank, with the other one on, I didn't have any problems. Now, one of the things I didn't like about the Fuji X-T3 is that the Fuji X-T3, when you put on sunglasses, it just totally confounds the autofocus system. Now, it has eye autofocus in video, and it's the best camera of last year, in my opinion. But it like, for those of us that wear sunglasses all the time, it just doesn't work. I can't, now that I have the sunglasses on, I can't be sneaky and look at the monitor all the time. YouTuber tricks. But yeah, this has been the autofocus. How far away does it pick up my face? Let's not fall and make a total jerk of ourselves on the internet. I wonder if it picked my face up there. But yeah, the A6400 is currently checking an awful lot of my boxes, and I'm very impressed with it. So this has been the 1080p, 30 frames per second. I jumped. When's the last time I jumped? Is it losing me at all? Is it losing me? I think it's got me. Like, this is probably one of the best autofocus systems I've seen so far. But again, I'll have to review the footage before I make any definitive. I'm sneaking up. I'm sneaking up. Huh. That was pretty quick. Huh. Pretty quick again. Yeah, I'll have to review the footage before I make any definitive statements, but I'm currently pretty darn impressed. This thing's been, oh, hey, we're sneaking, we're off to the side. Huh. Does that got me? Oh, it did. That one took a minute. Okay, so now we've done 1080p. Let's try 4K. So we're gonna move the cameras around. One second. Okay, camera has been set up. So on record 4K autofocus test with the A6400. Now again, I can't see all the information because I'm in front of the camera with the monitor. You guys actually get to see it, so hopefully it is still working pretty well. Well, here, hold on. I'm gonna turn on focus peaking. That way I can kind of see. Okay, focus peaking on. So let's test it out. We're in 4K 30 frames per second. Something you'll notice now is the rolling shutter is pretty noticeable and not the greatest, unfortunately. Probably the biggest weakness of this camera is that rolling shutter. But the autofocus is pretty good. So if you don't do things like stare at your camera and then jump around a whole bunch, it probably will work perfectly well for you. Okay, background's in focus. Here we are. Okay, that took a second, but it still worked pretty well. And the thing is, though, like with the Canon RP, I feel like it got focus faster, but there were times when we moved laterally where it lost us. So let's wander back down here as this cold snap is, it's March and the weather decided to get insanely, I guess is the right word, insanely cold. Let's wander up here. I can see through the focus peaking that. Does it have me? Does it have me? It wobbled there for a second. Oh, it's got me again. It's got me again. So I shoot everything in 4K 30. One of the reasons the EOS RP does not work out for me. Ooh, did it just lose me right there? Might have just lost me right there. So I've been looking, I used to use a Canon M50 as like my out and about camera, because the thing is, like, as you just saw at the beginning of the video, this whole setup needs a monitor, which means it needs a cable, and it needs a battery, and it needs some kind of way to attach that monitor to the camera, and that's a whole lot of stuff. And if you forget one part of it, it becomes unusable. Guess how many times I've forgotten a part of it? All the time. So yeah, if I can just get something with a usable monitor and a really good 4K output, I will be very happy. So, background, hey. Background, at least I'm getting a workout in this morning, hey. Okay, that was, whoop, it's got me. Okay, that was sunglasses. Now let's go without sunglasses. How's it now? I can't look again. It's so much easier when I have the sunglasses on because I can sneak peeks and you guys can't tell as much. Jump. Oh, these videos where they're not like super scripted and I just get to have fun, those are the most fun videos to make because, don't get me wrong, I like my scripted, lots of B-roll videos, but those are more like, I don't want to say work videos, whereas these are just like a whole lot of fun where I get to, I don't know, be a ridiculous dad with cameras in my backyard and have a lot of fun doing it. And hopefully you guys get something out of it where you can see how well this system works or not. But yeah, this autofocus system, I have no complaints. Like, I have not a single complaint about the Sony autofocus system. Now, what we'll see, and something that I'm really impressed with, and we'll see more in the bigger videos, is the tap to focus is the best tap to focus system I've ever seen on a camera. And I'm including Canon, I'm including Panasonic. Yeah, I'm including Panasonic if you do single tap. But yeah, the autofocus system, the tap to autofocus on the A6400 is so good. It's legitimately incredible. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna hop inside, review the footage, see if it actually kept up, see if there were any problems, because again, I can't completely just stare at the monitor. I've got to talk to you guys, because you are what's most important in this video. I'm gonna talk about what I think. Now I'm tired from all the zigging and zagging. See you there.
And we're back indoors. So what did I think about the autofocus system on the Sony A6400? Well, you know what? Surprisingly, I guess it's not that surprising, but the EOS RP and the dual pixel autofocus, I felt held me better, like when we were moving around a lot. The EOS RP did lose us a couple times, but I noticed there were quite a few times when the A6400, they didn't lose us, but there was some warping in the background. But I mean, how big of a deal is that? Really? I mean, how often are you like, oh, YouTube video, yeah, I mean, how often are you doing movements like that? And if you are doing movements like that, I think you're gonna have a bigger problem with rolling shutter than you will the autofocus. I mean, frankly, I think the autofocus in the A6400 is great, and the biggest benefit, and this is probably the biggest benefit the A6400 has over every other Sony camera, is it does face tracking in 4K because you don't need to hook up a monitor to see how it's doing. Like with the other ones, if you hook up a monitor, you'll lose face tracking unless you're recording to that monitor. If you're recording to it, then you can still use face tracking. But if you just want to see yourself, you'll lose face tracking. Whereas on here, you don't. I mean, that's a huge benefit, and one of the reasons why the A6400 really has my attention. I mean, if you're wondering why I keep pointing at the camera, we're recording on the A6400 right now, just to because why not? What else do you guys want to see of the A6400? Leave a comment below. I'd love to hear what you guys want to see as we do our series of videos about it. I'm really kind of torn because I awfully like this camera. And I'm really excited to try it out. This might become my, like I was saying about the USRP, if I can get better image quality than the $2,100 USRP with an $800 camera, I'll probably go with the $800 camera. Maybe. Thanks for watching.